Welcome to CBS This Morning. I'm Gayle King with Tony Dokoupil and Anthony Mason. We begin with this story from Philadelphia, where a night-long standoff that paralyzed a Philadelphia neighborhood is over after the man accused of wounding 6 police officers and shooting repeatedly at others surrendered overnight. His name, Maurice Hill, 36 years old. He walked out of his home where he had barricaded himself, holding his hands in the air.
Police say Hill opened fire when officers came to the house with a warrant. 2 officers and 3 hostages were trapped inside for about 5 hours until a SWAT team rescued them. CTM national correspondent Jericka Duncan is at the scene in Philadelphia. Jericka, what do we know about the accused gunman?
We know that the accused gunman has a criminal history, an extensive criminal history that includes several gun possession charges. Now, as for those 6 officers that were wounded, they were released from the hospital and are said to be in good spirits this morning. You know, you take a look at the scene behind me right now, police still gathering evidence. It is quiet, it is calm. But hours ago, neighbors here described it as a war zone. Sounds of gunfire terrorized this neighborhood in Philadelphia for hours.
I got an officer shot. I got an officer shot. Give me SWAT ASAP. Long gun ASAP.
Officers serving a narcotics warrant at a home around 4:30 p.m. yesterday were ambushed by a gunman barricading himself inside.
The shooter fired multiple rounds. Officers returned fire, many of whom had to escape through windows and doors to get from a barrage of bullets.
6 officers were shot, including one who was grazed by a bullet in the head.
One of the cops was running past. He had blood all on his head.
Heavily armed police officers, dozens of squad cars, and SWAT teams swarmed the area.
Damn! It's all SWAT.
Police, along with the shooter's lawyer, were trying to communicate with the suspect for hours, urging him to surrender and free hostages.
SWAT was able to successfully extract the 2 police officers that were trapped upstairs, as well as 3 prisoners.
But as darkness began to fall, the siege didn't let up.
I'm still ringing off.
More than 7 hours later, the gunman surrendered with the help of his lawyer, Shaka Johnson.
I've never known him to possess the traits that would have a person shooting at police officers or having a whole community under siege.
The 6 officers wounded left the hospital as their fellow officers lined up to salute them. Philadelphia's mayor used the standoff to call for gun control.
Whether it's our 6 officers who were shot or it's some 15, 17, 20-year-old kid on the streets of Philadelphia who gets shot with guns that shouldn't be in people's hands. And it's aggravating, it's saddening.
More than 30 officers discharged their weapons during this shootout. The alleged gunman was taken to Temple University Hospital, where he was treated for tear gas exposure. He's expected to be arraigned, facing multiple charges that include 6 counts of attempted murder. Anthony?
I'm so glad those 6 officers are all okay. Jericka, you lived in Philly for 3 years. How's the city reacting today?
You know, North Philadelphia is an area that is plagued by gun violence, but naturally, people in this area are not used to seeing hundreds of officers and crouched down, just as nervous as many of the residents here, because they didn't know what to expect. And then when you look at the fact that 6 officers, as you just stated, were not severely injured, they went home last night to their families. It is a miracle, as the police commissioner said. It is a blessing.
Jericka, thank you very much.